ready?
Recording is in progress, yes.
I'd like to call Village of Weston Tourism Commission to order. If we could all stand to pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. That's quite a crowd. This is very unusual. Let's see. Roll call.
Here.
Here. Here. And we received a resignation from Mary Hanford on the hoteliers last week. Is Mary here? No. Yeah. No. I thought she was gonna show. So we're short the hotelier spots. We gotta get that. So we're on 4 tonight. Approval of minutes from previous meeting, July 15th, 2024. With pleasure. Move to approve by Zagami.
Second.
Second by Wyland. Any further questions on the minutes? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Public comments. Anybody have any public comments? Anybody online? No? Anybody have any public comments? Jim, you have any public comments?
I do not.
You do not? Okay.
I can make one way,
We're in public comments, so. All right, no public comments. Acknowledge work product transmittals, none. Educational presentations and reports, none. Resolutions and ordinances. No policy issues. Number 6, review expenditure of Village of Weston tourism funds through the Wausau CVB. Tim's like,
I can kick it off and then throw it over.
okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
sure. Yeah, we can both answer.
Okay.
So at the last tourism meeting, the conversation came up with our divide in the agreement. What is the 45% that goes into the CVB? What are those revenues used for? So Jody put together the attached document that shows by quarter through January 2023 how that breakdown works within the room tax. So it shows the CVB general account, the sports authority, the meetings mean business, and then what's held in our grant account by quarter. And then she has the breakdowns there of the 70, 32, 6, and 25%, and the definitions of what each of those funds are. Then there was also a pie chart that shows how those expenditures break down within their budget and their approved budget for 2024. Yes? Yes. So obviously, Jody and Tim are here if you had specific questions related to those funds, but at the last meeting, it was just brought up that you'd like more information on how those funds are utilized once released to the CVB.
And it's recognized that all municipalities, that 30% is used at their leisure. You know, it's whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. Do you agree with that? And then there's a portion that's given to the CVB. In our case, it's 45%. And then there's 25% left over that we use for Weston area events, and we've gone outside of the Village of Weston for other events also. So I think sometimes in the last year or two, the focus sometimes for me is our 45% versus other municipalities. And I've had talks with Tim and other members of the executive committee, Jody, that we would hope that other municipalities would get up to 45, or if we'd all be at 40, whatever. So on the table tonight, further down, we do have a spot where we could possibly withdraw. But either way, we've got some issues with the village attorney that we've just got to change or create a new contract.
Yeah, clarify,
I should say. Yep. So do you want to talk about?
Well, just, we love everyone we're working on getting up to 40% across the board. Wausau is, and Wausau did a 2-year contract, which is great last fall.
So 40 or 45?
40.
So,
and then, as we talked and analyzed your 45%, that we brought out that means business thing that you're contributing to. And so that can be used Not all, most of the municipalities aren't doing that anymore. Maybe one, right? I think. Who is it? Is it?
The last time that someone took advantage of it was the village of Red Mountain, with, the US Masters that came to Granite Peak. They utilized the means mean business, so a total of 5,700, and that gave them the stay for the meeting space at, the Hilton Garden.
And that was a program that Travel Wisconsin had started, and then we replicated, I guess, before my time, to have, those are restricted funds, but you're contributing to that as well. And
So
then
that represents 5%. I didn't think it represented 5%.
No, it's up here on the top, 6.25.
6.25, yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's, that's up to you if you want to continue that with the Green Act Turner facility, coming on board, as we continue to recruit and go after leads to have events there, even, convention space as well. That's a restricted fund that you potentially could use for those kind of things. So, and then Schofield and you, although we don't do much for Schofield, we review your grants before you and Schofield are the only municipalities that our staff review grants. So people will come to us, or organizations will come to us for marketing grants, and that contribution that's made for grants through the Sports Authority, we'll review them, and we don't go recruiting people to fill out grants. We just make sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed in that. We don't make any decisions on base, other than if it doesn't qualify as a marketing type of grant. And of course, it has to generate hotel stays. So, and most people are very, eager to say it does. So, but yeah, across the board, my goal as the director of the organization is to spend at least 51% of our budget in 1 year's time on direct marketing, so that we are spending money on advertising and marketing and, outside of the area into the region. And so everything that we do, we market the region as a whole. Most people don't. I mean, even people that come from Rhineland or say they're going to Wausau, they may go to the hospital in Weston. There's just that perception. So, and then we highlight all the attractions that each municipality has, depending upon the interests of the people that are out there. So, for example, bringing the junior bowling. If we didn't have the connections and the resources that were given to us by the municipalities, we couldn't go after those kind of things. Tomorrow we'll send out a press release that we have secured for the Green Act Turner facility, the World Horseshoe Championships in 2026 and 2029, which will be thousands of people. So we couldn't do that if we didn't have the municipalities' monetary support, because we have to pay for fees and travel to these sports conventions and do all that stuff. So we're really grateful for our relationship with Weston. You've done a great job in really leading the way. So I'm not really sure what else. But any questions that you have, would love to
Shane?
answer.
How many state is involved in that horseshoe?
How many people?
How many state?
Oh, it's national, international.
Worldwide.
It's a world, so the
Worldwide.
last tournament had 48 states represented and 5 from other countries.
Right, thank you.
And a couple of years ago, it was held in Lansing, which is the state capital of Michigan, and had thousands of people there. And so it's really going to be an event and they stayed for a week. So it's going to be really a great economic impact. All the hotel rooms will fill up. So.
I was just gonna point out on the screen, I have the breakdown by municipality, which I understand is a little bit of an eye test. But so City of Wausau is at 40%, City of Schofield is at 43.75%, Rib Mountain is at 37.5%, and then we are at the 45%. But it also reflects a little bit different breakdown. Like you can see the City of Wausau does the 3% in the outdoor rec fund. And I would think if even if we wanted to make a change and not do the meetings mean business, but go to outdoor rec fund, that would be an option.
Yeah.
And that outdoor rec helps to do amenities in central Wisconsin.
Yeah, promotion, and also, you know, another thing that we do is we work with all the groups that are trying to improve the amenities that are here. So, for example, we were a big part of getting the national parks to work with the Great Pinery Heritage Waterway, the 3 riverways that are coming together, the Eau Claire and the Big Rib and Wisconsin River. We helped secure a national park grant for landscaping some of the areas, which, you know, Bill Bertram was about. We applied for, and all the municipalities to become a Ice Age Trail community. But now that it's a national park, the profile of the Ice Age Trail in Marathon County is, you know, way higher. And so Weston is the closest, you know, place, and people that hike the Ice Age Trail, they stay in hotels and eat at the restaurants. So, you know, those kind of things. We're working with the Rib Mountain expansion. You know, we work closely with Greg and Granite Peak, and, you know, pretty much every organization that has some value for a visitor profile. And those kind of things that, you know, are attractive to visitors are also attractive to local residents too, so.
I've had a lot of meetings, and phone call meetings last couple of weeks. I guess I keep coming back to the core, that it's just not our money. It's the hoteliers' money. And, you know, they're the ones that are generating it. We get to use 30% scot-free, and then get 25% in our area. And I reached out to some of them, and talked to them, and every one of them wholeheartedly says to stay in the CBD. You know, that they want that representation, they want that help. It's a strong entity. Is there some things that we can fix? Yeah, probably. If we don't get other municipalities up to our level, maybe we adjust that a little bit. But I was all over the board on that, and but I believe the CBB is the right way to go. Rothschild has to get in. I had a meeting with you last week, and we can't let that go. We're on very good terms with Rothschild. If we meet with them every week, and that's what we do to get that done. But we got to get them in. Their hotels out in Cedar Creek want to get into CBB. I know. I think they're talking to some of your people on staff, and it's just something we have to do. We're not running as a full engine without Rothschild, and Rothschild has to be included. They have to be on the brochures. They just have to be included. Part.
Well, can we take, like, instead of having 45, doing the 40 and put 5 into what's our Weston?
Well, we could easily take the 45 and go to 40, and then take the other 5% and go into the 25% and go to 30.
Right.
I mean, we could go down to 30 and take 15
Well,
and go.
no,
to
I'm
ours.
just saying to make it,
But
you know, that
yeah.
was a thought. That was just a thought I had. I don't know if that's, you know.
I guess one of the things to look at too would be how much of that 25 or 30 up to 30, if you go to 30 of your own tourism percentage do you use by the end of the year?
That's one of the questions I have here is, you know, to Jessica, when in the last 5, 6, 7 years have we run out? When have we spent it all? Never.
Never.
And I think we committed, 475,000 to the Green Heck Turner.
It was over 3 years.
Yeah, it was over 3 years, but we had some pretty big asks, and we gave, you know, so we, on the tourism side of everything, on what that, you know, that complex is gonna do for our area is gonna be incredible. And talking to hoteliers, they just said, absolutely, that's gonna be huge for this side of our regional draw. Not that it really matters, they can stay anywhere. There's some great hotels in this whole area. But, so we had a way, I mean, when they first had asked about it, I was stunned with the amount. But not only did we do the first 200, I think we did the next one, and then we did some other monies too, I thought. I don't know what the whole number is, but
I don't remember.
it was a big,
I think it's 300,000. So the
Yeah.
first ask was 200, and then they came back.
another 100, okay. But,
And then I think you had an operation one too.
and there was an operations one too, I thought, yep. So I mean, it's extremely well spent, but even with that, we never hit 0. So.
The lowest I think was last month, and we had like 124,000
it's not an account that we need to carry over, that we need to
You
save.
shouldn't be
We
carrying
really
it
shouldn't be.
over.
We should be spending it to get more heads and beds, you know?
Yeah.
Get more stuff to Dale, to get more people over there to stay in hotels, you know? What the heck? Buy some
Yeah, there's a
hotels.
number of extra marketing and extra going after events that we could do. We have a very small staff. We just hired our 4th staff person, marketing assistant to help us. But we'd love to go to more, nationwide things. We've added a number of tools that make it easier and extend our effectiveness. We just got a tool called Play Easy, which is a sports integration where we can basically put all of our facilities online, and events and other organizations around the world can take a look at, and then we can follow up and go after them as well. So we're always looking for these tools that can make us more effective. I mean, we still have to put the work in ourselves personally, but yeah, like Jody worked tenaciously to get the World Horseshoe Championships here.
So the 45, I'm sorry, Shane, go ahead.
I reviewed those videos you sent to us, and majority of them promote Warsaw, Vermont. I think we should add other municipality also in there. There was half a dozen or maybe more video in there. I didn't look all of it, but most of it I look at it. It's just Warsaw and Red Mountain, Warsaw, Red Mountain.
Yeah.
I think we should include the rest of the municipality in there somehow.
Yeah, like Jamie, if you put on the website, go back to the website. So this is the plans of stuff that we're finishing this year. That's your last tab up there. This is Wausau.
My Zoom is in the way. Hold
Oh, is it?
on, there we go.
So if you scroll down a little bit, Jamie, other than that video, keep going. There's our book direct tool, which we now just implemented, which people are able to just go down or go up, sorry. I always get this wrong. My wife's like, go down or up? Up a little bit more. No, down. Go down. So see that book your stay? So we've got that tool in a couple different places now that we just integrated. And that means that when people are checking out the website, if they want to book a hotel stay right away, which again, that, while they're highly motivated, they can do so. All right, so if you go down a little bit more, you'll see 4 things right there, and there is Weston. And so if you click on that, what we're doing is we're creating a sizzle video. That's not a sizzle video, but that's going to highlight the municipality. It's going to kind of showcase all the attractions in Weston. If you scroll down further, it will show you all the lodging choices, things to do, restaurants, and all Weston oriented stuff too. So yeah. So we want to make sure that, yeah, everybody gets highlighted and stuff. And of course, every municipality is a little bit different with the amount of attractions that they have. And I mean, Rib Mountain State Park is the #1 visited entity in Marathon County. So of course, we want to make sure that that's highlighted. And you have the Mountain Bay Trail and now the Oak Bay River. Yeah, there's the Rib Mountain sizzle reel for them that we just did. So highlight some of the nightlife and things that are in Rib Mountain. So that'll happen for Weston too.
Yeah. I guess because I don't know, in the works with building my website and everything, how do people know to go to visit Wausau? I mean, how does that come about?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we spend a lot of money on search engine optimization and some pay-per-click. We're constantly, so we work with our vendor SimpleView, which is a world-class destination software company, to maximize our website with the kinds of words, the kind of research that people are doing, so that our website shows up first, right? So if you pop up things to do in near me or Wausau events, sometimes it's second. Sorry. All right. But in fact, we get calls for people asking for the price of chicken because they somehow search for lambs and we're the first listing and they call our office. Anyway, so that's, so, and then everything we do from a social media standpoint, advertising, is to drive traffic to the website because we want to build a funnel, right? And what we want to do is we want to qualify people that are interested. We know that most people come here for outdoor rec. 58% of every visitor does at least 2 forms of outdoor rec. 65% of all of our locals do some form of outdoor rec. So we know that they come for that. And so there's a heavy emphasis on that, but also showcasing the cultural, the art, the restaurants, those kinds of things that are really attractive. We know that in Marquette and Duluth, well, Marquette and Houghton, sorry, we know that people come down here for 2 things. They come down for healthcare and they come down for shopping. And so, it's all relative based on, I guess, where you're from. So we try to showcase those things in those specific areas to get people to do more while they're here, stay longer while they're here, buy things here, support our local vendors and hoteliers. So yeah, we spend a lot of money, more money than.
I can, yeah, I'm in that process. So
Yeah.
I get that, yeah. SEOs and.
Yep. And we can give you reports. I mean, if you're really interested in it, we get monthly reports. I can show you. I mean, it's a lot of data and stuff, but it gives us best practice. Like we know, like this fall, one of the big search things is for fall colors and Halloween. We realize that we don't really have any Halloween assets on our website, so we're creating a number of blogs for Halloween and things to do in the fall. It'll include Harvest Fest that Wausau Events does, among other things, but the orchards and the hay stuff. So we really take it seriously, and again, want to promote the whole area, and Weston's a big part of that.
Yeah, is there a way that we can maybe hit harder with something tangible like this, like City Pages does, and have them in multiple places? I know that you said you ship them off and put them here and there, but.
Yeah, they're in over 30 racks around town. The hoteliers have them. We have them in a number. If there's a business or a place that you feel like would be a good place for it, let me know, because we have these small wire racks where we put them to, like the City Pages does. So we have big racks in hotels, and we actually have a program for a number of the attractions to put their brochures in it and stuff too. But we can certainly put a wire rack anywhere. So if there's somebody.
You just hired a new marketing person, so they can make.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you give me suggestions because we have to ask too. So,
I have plenty to do. I have 4 jobs.
No, not you, no. The other thing we're doing with Weston, Shane, we're doing a chef's video now. We've got a number of videos of things that highlight outdoor rec here, but we're going to be doing a chef's one, and so we're going to be talking to the proprietors of Fozone because their culinary stuff is really unique and creative. We're doing Red Eye and probably Chow, and then maybe a couple other ones too. So we're kind of interviewing the chef.
Is it chow or char?
Chow. Chow is across the street from Washington Square.
I thought you said last week, Jim, you said it was char.
It was Char.
Char Grill House.
That's a different restaurant.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what
Oh, 2 different ones?
Street in, yeah.
Yeah, that's connected to the red.
Wow, make me really look stupid. Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow.
No,
Wow.
no worries.
Hand in the back.
Yes, this is a question. So, who events Weston? Weston event here. It looks like you guys are your farmers market, probably even our farmers market. There's not a single event in Weston. That shows the legal ELP was in ours, and also the jazz, all the results. For things to do in Weston, same thing. There's nothing listed that's physically in Weston. Then we're missing a lot of restaurants that you go through and audit this or look at this.
Well, we just
Been on
put,
the site for a while.
it's been a little bit. One of the reasons why we hired this person is to make sure all this stuff, is up to date. So, but a couple of years ago, we put up. It's been not quite 2 years now. We put up a new website, and we had to move a lot of stuff in the old website over. I really didn't want to, but they said, better to do that because there's kind of like a trail that's kind of in search. And so as we have progressed, we're honing in on that, but yeah, we'll certainly make sure that, we put those things down too. So.
You guys are both sitting in this room that has some places to eat that they're not even on here.
Do you have to be a tourism partner though, to be listed?
No, you know, part of it is we tell everyone that they get a free listing, and so they get a free account to be able to put their listing on. And so some people obviously don't do that, but, you know, we want them to do that, so we keep working. Like events too, we have an events tab. Is it Jim? Yeah.
Yeah, it's submitted events.
We have an events tab, and we encourage all people who, you know, would like visitors to go to their events at the top to, you know, basically fill that out. But again, you know, we kind of have to chase people, so.
So like the events that we have promoted here in Weston, or if we were to rewind, or long ago, when the Bloom Fest or the whichever, all those things made it on here, like the big bowling outfit that was at Dale's, that's on here. I don't see it, maybe I missed it, maybe.
Yeah, it should be in the, what date was that? That was, should be on there. I don't think you can go backwards and look past stuff.
Or like the baseball tournament, right, we just had that.
If,
Like, it physically went to the CBB for funding, so that should make it on the calendar, right?
well, yeah, it should be, and we tell them, you know, fill out the event. So, I mean, fill out the event form. We encourage everybody to do that, so.
So who does that though? So does
Yeah.
the Eversource Baseball League have to come to you and say, hey, I didn't know that you had this spot on your website that says come to Wausau events and find this event?
If you go to the top, Jamie, in the menu part, so they can go where it says events, you see the events tab? Up, close.
Yeah, it says events.
Outdoor
submitted
activities, events, restaurants. If you click on events,
There we go.
no, close. Again, you can submit an event.
How do
And
they-
so, and then we just make sure everything is correct in that form, when we get it. And then, make sure it's got a photo and,
So Mr. Elliott here would have to physically come to you separate from requesting a tourism event dollar amount. And say, hey, I know I requested X number of dollars for this event, it's gonna put 250 heads and beds for this week-long tournament. But I also would like for you to put it on the website, 'cause we got folks that are coming from Milwaukee, and they're gonna stay up here for a week. But
then he's done
Mrs.
that.
Bowler doesn't,
They've sent
she
us,
doesn't bowl, so she wants to go find, hey, can I go to the Ice Age Trail? I don't even see the Ice Age Trail on there, but what I would like to see that event is on there, and then I can click on this window and it's gonna populate other things. Does he have to separately do that, or that's something that you do in-house and say, hey, we got this thing coming, we ran this event through our process, or to make sure that event makes it on our calendar?
yeah, usually when we're working with that organization, and if we're working closely with them, you know, we'll ask them to, or we will put it up, so. I mean, that's typical protocol, so.
So at times, to get to Jim's point, at times, the staff will actually put it on for them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then, I think that's what he's trying to make a point of.
Oh, yeah,
Is
yeah,
that,
we'll-
you know,
we'll do
so some we do it for, and then some we kind of rely on them to ask. And it should be, why aren't we just doing it with everybody? You know,
well, it's hard to chase, you know, again, chasing down people to see if they want their event from.
well, I know, but okay, so if the staff of the CDB did the balloon rally. So we didn't ask, we didn't wonder if they wanted to be on there, we just put them on there because it's that big of a deal.
Yeah,
So, but then the rest of the people, we kind of wait and see if they chase us to get on there, even though they ask for some money.
we don't wait
Yeah.
for them to chase us.
Okay.
We actively look for, you know, what are the events that are coming up, what can we put in the event calendar?
I mean, the more the merrier, it should.
Yep,
So I want to go back to your funding, then I'll let you. So you said 51% is for marketing, of your 45%. So the 45% that we give to the CDB, minus that 25, so it's 45. 51% of that is marketing. Is that your rule, or is that the rule of our contract?
no, that's my guideline.
So 51% is used for marketing out of the 45%. What's the other 49? How much for ops, how much for labor? Now, and this marketing person that you're hiring now, is that person just replacing the one that you just lost?
Yes, well, she's kind of more of a jack of all trades, kind of a person, so, yeah, I mean, we'll go ahead.
Is that person local?
Yeah.
This new person? Okay. And this person will be at you're renting a spot down by the PAC, right, or performing arts, or?
Whitewater Music Hall, on
Yeah.
the first floor of it.
Okay.
It's a,
Will that
Office
person be
with no
there
windows.
at all, or work strictly from home?
no, we'll do some things, in that office, but it's a hybrid, so, you know,
So
but then we meet every week.
So the 49% that's left of the 51%, you know, what is payroll, what is labor? Like 30-some%?
Out of that 45% that comes in, it gets funneled into the right, if you go up to the top where the definitions are, it goes into our general account. It goes into the municipality grant account, means new business. So that it goes, so for the CBB general account, those are the funds that we use for marketing and our operations and payroll. They're all they're pooled together. And then from there, Jamie, I gave you the budget down below. So towards like the end of the year, we come up and we have a budget that we submit to our board of directors, and it compares the previous year to the new year. And we show like our increases, our decreases, and we have to justify those. So all of the municipality funds are into one account. We don't divide them out per municipality.
Unless it's restricted funds for that and stuff.
Yeah, so if maybe we could kindly ask for, so we're not chasing these events to be on here. Could your marketing person maybe look into the minutes or get with Rachel, because she's always posting, you know, on the weekly newsletter, so she's always up to date. I'm sure Jamie has enough to do, but maybe.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, Gal's gonna do. Gal Kerr is her name. She is going to get the newsletters from municipalities if there's, you know, like I guess River Mountain's having a food truck event, right? So putting that up. So when we get those emails, she'll sign up for those. Then she can make sure that those are up on there.
What do you mean when you get those emails?
The municipality email that you subscribe to.
Oh, the weekly one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
We could
And
also
that's
put
one of the
that,
reasons we needed somebody, because, you know, it's like, I'll put up listings and events and that, you know, there's a lot to do for, but we do the best we can, and we're doing the best we can.
We also have an events calendar that's internally for our staff, that we put all the different events so that all of us can grab content and go to those activities and promote them and make some, you know, reels and future marketing assets of it. So
Yeah.
we also do that.
And like this weekend, I was at the Blues Fest, the Midwest Freestyle Championships for kayak, Wausau Marathon, taking footage. That was all weekend long, and doing some stuff for social media for future events. And then the other thing too for us with
Is somebody, I'm sorry, is somebody taking updated pictures when they're?
Yep.
Who would that be?
well, we have Gary Barden on retainer that we pay, and he's taking pictures. All of us, Brenton Wildman, our creative directors, taking massive amounts of video, and then we get stills from those things that we use for pictures. We like to really, you know, get a lot of video assets, so we can take stills, you know, video pictures. Video seems to be more impactful for people. So we're constantly, like last summer, we worked like crazy, just getting all these events filmed and, you know, all the different perspectives and stuff. It's a lot of work because you're at the event, you're touching every kind of thing that's going on. So we're also doing, you know, like some of our advertising, like we've used Time and Cellar and Velveteen Plum, Mascay's group restaurants to kind of highlight that kind of cool kind of dining experience. Some of those ads we've done in like Midwest Living, and kind of showcasing the dining, because again, you know, there's this whole idea of you're up in the North Woods, but you have all these different options to enjoy in this greater Wausau area. So.
At 5% extra we're paying, can you put that on for extra marketing for Village of Weston,
The 5% of the, what, the 45?
right? Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the direction of what you wanted to do, one, you'd probably want to reconcile the meetings meeting business fund.
It has to be approved by commissioner, I'm just suggesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you gave us a directive, we would do that. I mean, the main thing would be, you know, if we would market Weston, I mean, if there's additional things you want us to market, what would that look like? And, you know, and again, we would want to make sure that we are, so one of the things in our event calendar that we'll be winnowing out this year is Grandma's crochet quilt at First, you know, Big Bang Church or whatever. We're not gonna do that kind of stuff anymore because visitors are probably not gonna go. So but we will, you know, again, we want to highlight things that visitors and the community, both and, would want to attend. So concerts on the square for the 400 block. If there's an event on the Mountain Bay Trail, if there's a paddle event on the Eau Claire River, if there's, you know, something going on that is, you know, Weston centric, that's great. We'll promote it. I'd like to see Winterfest become this expanded thing that goes outside of the 400 block and that Weston does some things with, you know, it could be a huge bonfire with food trucks, and I can see Weston doing that, and, you know, so kind of helping to develop those kind of things too. Then you guys have the sports, so we're really promoting that. Yes.
Also in outdoor activities, I noticed that baseball's not out there. That would be a suggestion. I mean,
Yeah.
we have the woodchucks, right? We're building, renovating Kennedy Park. Yeah, so those would be two huge assets for our area too.
Okay.
Also to go with that, canoeing and kayaking, there's a lot of drop spots in Weston, and I'm only noticing that Yellow Banks is up there. So I'd like that revised.
Yeah,
Those are huge.
just make notes here. Well, it's always a work in progress, and so again, you tell me what we're missing, and I'll make sure, you know.
Well, that should be your marketing department. That's what we pay you for. I can suggest things, but that's not.
We've got a kayak launch on Jay, we've got a kayak launch on Ross. And yet Yellow Banks is noted. We don't have the actual two launches that we put in. Those are like $400,000 a piece.
Well, I'll make sure they're on there.
At Jay in there, yeah, we get a lot of.
That whole Heritage Waterway is a work in progress.
What's that?
The whole Heritage Waterway that's new is a work in progress. It will be completely a new section on that website. It's not new.
And you know, Jamie, to your point, you know, I just really encourage if there's something that we're missing, please, you know, let me know. People reach out to me all the time. I'm not waiting around. I mean, I'm not sitting around going, what am I missing? Sometimes, you know, with all the assets that we have, you know, we'll definitely miss stuff. But, you know, again, you give me a list of things. Hey, if you're missing this, I'll work at putting that up. So we'll put the kayak launches up, the softball fields, all that kind of stuff. Is there anything else?
That's just 5 minutes at looking at this. So
What's missing?
what's missing? Maybe you should ask yourself that every day. What's missing?
We missed the pickleball court.
Yeah, well,
Missed the pickleball.
Well, are you looking at, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm Jamie Foley, I'm the Parks Recreation Director for the county and the city, and I'm also Vice President of the CBB. One thing I think that the CBB has to look at with this website is it's tourism based. So it's up to us as our organizations to put on our facilities that our general public uses. I would definitely put on the Wausau Woodchucks. Yes, that's a tourism based program that we go to. I would not put on your local ball fields. I wouldn't expect our local ball fields to be on there either, because that's not the general public looking for something to do. That's your Little League group having a tournament. That's not what your visitors are coming for. Now your visitors, if they're coming for a tournament, they're going to this website and they're looking for other things to do. They're looking for restaurants, they're looking for trails, they're looking for the stuff that they can do here. They're not looking for another ball field to go to. So we have to, as an organization, as a CVB, have to really make this a robust website that is for the tourists that are coming here, and then work with our municipalities and our departments like myself, so we can make sure our websites are connected and up to date on what the general local public is doing. So, you know, if there's events up that our people are coming to, then we put those up. But I would not, I mean, it's not the CVB's job to promote all the local recreation activities. There's linked to our municipalities and our website.
Will Green Hectare be on here?
When there's events, there are, yeah. And so there's other parts of the website that have listings, right? So if you look at meetings and things like that, you know, there's different parts of the website. There's place for meetings and conventions, and it lists assets for that. The events, if there's a specific event, it's put on there. There's all these different places to go, and of course we SEO those areas, those landing pages for people to go there. So, yeah, you know.
So you just said you listed, you know, places to have things. So Green Egg Turner would be listed there.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it now?
Yeah, it should be on there.
Okay.
Um,
We just opened last week. and
unless we
everyone's
just
it's a
wait,
little
unless,
fresh.
yeah, if it's not, it's probably sitting in the CRM waiting to be turned on. So. Yeah, it's very important that that's, I mean, we're not trying to not have.
We're not saying that, but, we just want to get our bang for our buck.
Yeah,
We're
of course.
paying 5% more than any other municipality.
And I guess I kind of
Absolutely.
disagree with Kennedy Park because I think, I mean, unless you're looking for it, or word of mouth, I mean, it should be shared. It's millions of dollars that we're spending.
We have it as a water park. Yeah, Green Neck Turner Community Center is on there.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Sarah has access to that account as well.
yeah, and Kennedy Water Park's on there we have a special water parks page, water parks and schools page, and it's on there listed too, so.
Okay, any more questions? Jimmy? Any? No? Okay. All right, that was for info there for number 6, review expenditures of Village of Weston tourism funds through the Wausau CBD. If we're finished there, moving to 7, discussion and or action on attorney review of tourism entity agreement with CBB, village ordinances and commission's internal rules and procedures for grant approvals. I had a couple conversations with some other municipalities, and you know, Rib Mountain doesn't agree with what you said, a zona.
Tourism.
And a zone isn't necessary. It doesn't have to be necessary. I think there's some different ways you can look at different things, and I know Attorney Edie is protecting our assets and protecting our village, and but other municipalities have said that that's not that important, and to push where Attorney Edie said that the monies, if not spent in Weston, would be illegal. There's a difference of opinion there too. So we're gonna have to get some help there with some of this stuff, and you know, so I think the point is, you know, do we redo our contract, staying in the contract? Do we feel a need that we have to exit the contract, to redo a contract, to re-sign? I think if we do that, and this is my one opinion, is I think we would just have a lot of undue anxiety on people in this trade, in the tourism trade. And I mean, what's Weston doing? What does that mean? I mean, are they gonna sign? I mean, are they gonna have a contract? Are they gonna jump back in? Are they gonna try to create their own? I've been all over the board the last 2 months on this. I've been doing a lot of talking, a lot of meetings. And my one opinion is to stay in the CBB and then just rework the contract. And then have a new contract for the first of the year. Now, can we do that? Can we have a new contract by not laying notice that this contract is not gonna be the same contract for the first? What I don't wanna do is go through September first, and because we didn't put a notice out there, now we're automatically grandfathered into that last quarter, because we have to do a notice before October, November, December, before the fourth quarter.
Yes, you need a 30-day notice before the last quarter.
Right.
But that's for if you're going to term the contract. If we were going to renegotiate aspects of the contract, since it's a 1-year contract, I think both us and the CBB have said we can renegotiate those aspects. And we could take the last quarter of the year to put those in place for January 1. But if you were going to terminate totally, we would have to make that decision
Right.
this
I know.
evening
I know.
and with the board too, so we
And
could
the board,
provide
yep.
notice. And
So-
I did include just in the RFC, just laying out those questions from Attorney Edie. I thought that might be a good way to kind of work through how we wanted to tackle redoing that agreement. Staff can certainly take your input and then bring back drafts. We don't have to do that all today. The biggest
Right.
decision is whether or not we want to continue the agreement, and we can work through the nuances of what that looks like.
The thing is the CBB would have the ability to say, you didn't exit, that we're gonna hold you to the same contract again. But the CBB agrees that they'll work with us, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you're saying you had something?
If we're gonna update the contract and make a correction to it, why couldn't we just use the same contract for next
Exactly,
year?
exactly, we can.
We spend
That's
the
what I'm saying, we
time,
would stay in the contract, we wouldn't, people wouldn't be wondering, oh God, what the hell's gonna go on here, are we gonna lose this kind of portion? It would be huge to the CBB, huge. And at the same time, we need to really have some good, positive meetings with Rothschild.
Yeah.
To try to encourage them to get in for
Absolutely.
next year.
I love it, you know.
And we might have to talk to the executive board with the CBB, that we might have to do some kind of a grace for them to get them in. I don't think you'll hear another municipality complain that they're gonna come in. I mean, yeah, I'm complaining. I complain a lot about that our portion is more than anybody else's. But if we can get Rothschild in, and in a couple of years, get this whole thing going as a huge engine, that'd be huge.
Yeah.
And get them back in our books, get them back in all of our sites, and
Yeah, that'd be great.
they need to be and they deserve to be involved with all of this. Okay, so does that answer your question, Shane?
yes, I want contract, upgrade the contract.
And we would be able to do that all the way through the signing of the January 1st, correct?
Yeah, I think we would want to try and have that done at the December meeting, so we would
Okay.
have something
Yes.
ready for January
Yes.
1 would be
Okay.
ideal.
And so, I'm sorry, so then we're saying that all municipalities are saying across the board percentage wise.
No,
We-
they're not.
Well, I
No.
think they should be,
They should be, and we've
and
asked,
if they're not, then we should go down to that level.
that we could go down to, Schofield's at 43.75. I gotta try to understand this whole meetings, minutes, and all this stuff, what the value and worth is there. I mean, is there any worth to you going through our stuff? You know, for us, I never thought there was any money or anything attributed to that.
Yes, the general inquiries, like the back and forth with,
Right.
with groups and making sure that their applications are filled out and then doing the follow-up to make sure that they're reporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is some worth to that.
Absolutely.
I was thinking we were the only ones that was happening for. If it's happening for Schofield too, I think it would be fair to at least drop to what Schofield is doing but we could have that conversation.
Our interest
Of
was
course,
that,
Schofield had one hotel and just,
For clarification,
Yeah.
Schofield, if someone's interested in, receiving a grant, they write a letter and it goes in front of their council.
Yep.
They approve it, and then Lisa reaches out to me and says that it's been approved and I have their okay to release the funds.
I think what we tried to do in the past, staff was okaying the grants and or board, and it became personal. And it came, favoritism, not, I don't wanna say it in a bad way, but it was hard to say no to certain ones right around you. And I thought it was a good thing to have the CBB actually do it and kind of be the clearinghouse, and then bring it through. Jamie?
Yeah, I'd like to know more about the reports that, they come back with. I guess I've never seen one, maybe that can be revised so that, what's expected, and then when they do come to the table and ask for money, then we have some justification if we should fund that or not.
And Jody, some of the meetings that I've had with you, everything that comes to you, we know about.
100%.
And then, some of the things that we were asking for last month or two, with reports, they weren't coming, or whether we had a misunderstanding there, but now they are. So now we're gonna start seeing
The post reports, they have 60 days to turn them in.
right,
And at the last meeting, we suggested that if they don't come in that 60 days, that I would be emailing them and then including JD in that. But any of the post reports we've gotten, they've been included in the packets in the
Right.
past.
so like the last time, the baseball missed it, but yet we still approved it. And so we don't wanna have anything not make it because of that. We're trying to streamline it so that we have enough time to make the decision, but we only meet supposedly, 4 times a year.
Right.
And if somebody misses something, which is human nature, we wanna be able to take care of it, especially if it's a DC Everest or something around the area here.
Yeah, and every municipality has some different procedure.
Mhm.
It's not the same, so we acquiesce to every municipality in trying to,
Right.
Help them get things routed through to what they, so they can.
I mean, it takes a while to kind of feel that out, how that process works. I mean, I remember, stuff would happen so quickly at Dale's that they just couldn't get in the time frame of that. Then I don't know how you're doing it now, but you must have more time when these events are coming. But there was a couple times where the time wasn't there in between, and yet we knew about it, so we still okay. I mean, those are some great events that definitely fill up hotels. So,
And that timeline is in the contract too?
yeah, we have what do we have, a 60-day, I think?
It's in the grant application that it's 90 days prior, 60 to 90 days,
Well,
but
maybe that
then
could be
we've got it in there where if it's a short time cutoff,
Right,
then we could do it via email. And there's only been one grant application that we've done that in the past for, and that was the first year of the Taste and Glow.
Yeah.
Because it didn't meet that criteria, and then.
But, I mean, even if they came the night of the tourism, if they got on the agenda and came the night of the tourism, we could still, hash it out.
That's up to you. If you're open to that, that's fine.
I think that we don't get that many, so not that we wanna open up the door and flood it in, but. still.
Right.
Well, and if you did allow for email voting, we likely would have to update the ordinance because we don't allow for email voting on anything else. So, I mean, that's another reason to have this conversation, that if we do change the way that's outlined, we wanna make sure our ordinance matches that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
if it was last minute, we would need the 24 hours to issue out an amended agenda. But I think we always try to work with the groups so they know that these are the timelines. These are the 4 timelines of the year that they could get the grant application in.
So we've got time with the attorney, and we can work that out and go back and forth. Any more on number 7?
So have to make a motion on that?
I don't know that you need
I
to
don't
make,
think so.
yeah, unless there was something specific out of
Yeah.
the attorney recommendations that you wanted to see
This
this.
will be a work in progress, yeah.
Okay, what if we dropped it down to 43, whatever scope it is at?
Mhm.
Where does the rest of that 5% go?
If we dropped it down, if we dropped the CDD portion down, it would translate and go into our 25%.
Okay,
So it would just create more funds that we could give out.
And then do we want to have a conversation at all about our percentage that is in the meetings mean business or in the sports authority?
I think I need to understand more of that. But, I think first of the year, I just think, I mean, we've done 2 or 3 years now of the highest of all the municipalities. I think it's time that we're at least, at the highest of the next municipal underneath us. And so that's gonna be a drop of some percentages because we haven't gotten the other municipalities up. I know we've gotten a few of them up. I thought Wausau went from a 37.5 to 40 now, but, they're not at 45. So, and it's not like we're trying to hoard it or use it for whatever we want. We still give it out, to area events. What's that?
well, I know Jimmy had talked about earlier, putting it, some money in a different type of category, and I guess I would be interested in looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, we could get some more information about what's been included in that outdoor rec. But I see Wausau's doing 3% in that outdoor rec, and that might be something that
Yeah.
we want to consider. With the additions to Kennedy Park, if we're adding pickleball courts, does that make sense to do some outdoor rec funding?
Well, that's what I was getting at, was spending all this, to have something in there.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're making a list of circle back items, is that?
Oh,
So,
definitely.
so then,
We're gonna have this hashed out before this contract in December, what our portion's gonna be.
and then the reports on there, Jamie?
Yep, I have reports.
And
Okay,
then, from what, Attorney Beatty said, from my understanding, the Tourism Commission, approval process and, the CBB contract, those don't coincide, so we have to make sure those coincide, correct?
Yep.
and if we have to write in there, that snafu that I did, that I approved, after the vote, so that can never happen again.
So my, the,
It was in violation.
Yes,
of
it
the
was.
village room tax.
I agree, I violated.
so the only piece then would be the ones that would come in with short notice, if there would be one.
Yep.
And then I guess I would be looking for the tourism
Prior to a
commission
vote.
to say,
Prior to a vote.
prior to a vote. What would happen if something did come in short notice and we couldn't amend the agenda? Do we say to them, we're really sorry, we can consider it after the fact and you might still get funds, but you'll have to do it post event?
Right, right,
Okay.
as long as there was no vote. But once the vote happens with the tourism commission, it's over.
So we're just gonna, we'll have the ordinance, match the contract language on that, but then we just have to be aware that if someone comes in late, they could get post-event, but it wouldn't be in time for
Right.
pre.
Right.
Okay, and then the only other question was events that are in Weston, events that impact Weston. That was our other nuance difference. And are we comfortable with events that impact Weston but aren't in Weston?
I am,
I am.
I think we need to, this has to be a regional deal.
It does, but
There you
that's
go.
where the report comes in too.
Okay,
All right, have we beaten 7 to death? All right.
Yeah.
So new business, number 8, discussion and or action on consideration of withdrawal from the Boston CDB contract.
Move we stay with the CBB and with the contract to be able to use it for next year's.
Okay,
I'll
Mo-
second
motion by Husheng to stay with the CDB contract, to, have some changes inside the contract, and then have a vote on December, so that we're ready for the first of the year, and second by Irma, right?
and Song, could you just make sure that the minutes reflect that CVB also agreed that that's a good timeline, that we are both in consensus on working together for that?
Then move our
Yes.
October meeting to December. We don't meet.
Oh, okay, sure, we could do that,
Are you amending my motion?
or could we take January's to December?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we could do that too, yeah. No, we're not amending it, we're adding.
Oh, okay.
Because we're likely still gonna need one in October to go through changes, so we probably will need one in October and
That's true.
December.
Okay. Any more in discussion? Nope. No more in discussion, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? So carried. Let's see, remarks from committee members. Any remarks? Jen?
So,
Needs it enough?
Yes.
Barbara? Shane?
no, thank you.
And I have nothing. Thanks for the turnout. I think I know everybody that's here. So Jeannie Polly, I've never met you before. Next to Jeannie Polly is who?
It's Greg Fisher is.
Oh, great. What the hell? I just had coffee with you last week, sorry.
Good.
Yeah, sorry. All
Hi.
right. Yeah, I don't have my glasses on, sorry. He's the
Hi,
president,
Greg.
he's the president of the, CBB.
He's my neighbor.
So, that is, yes,
Across
right
the
across the
street.
street. That's right. I found that out too. I told my newest son, and he says, how the hell do you know my son? I told my son's son played with you or something, so. Figured that one out.
He's over my household.
Yeah, send him home. I have nothing else either, remarks from chair, let's see, future items, next regular meeting is still October 21st, we're gonna hold. Time to be determined, topics for future meetings, contract, a lot of discussion, and Rothschild. And any announcements, none, looking for an adjournment, moved by Ermeling,
second.
second by Wyland, all those in favor say aye.
I.
Opposed? So carried, 3:59, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.